Hello, friends and patrons of Theatre Erindale. We are so excited to announce that we're starting a new series called Jigging with the Fools, where we get to know the incoming fourth years, better known as the Jigging Fools. I'm your host, Sophia, and this week I am joined by Camryn Ferguson, Ciara Hall, Klick McMahon, and Rhys Parker. So why don't you guys all go ahead and introduce yourselves, names, pronouns, anything else you'd like to share with our lovely viewers?
I'll go first. All
Sure,
right.
yeah,
Hi.
whoever would like to go
My,
first.
my name is Rhys Parker. My pronouns are he, him.
My name is Julia Hall. I just turned 22 and my pronouns are she, her. And fun fact about me is my birthday is not only D-Day, but it's Sweden's National Day. It's very cool.
My name is Camryn Ferguson. My pronouns are she, her. And a fun fact about me is that I really like reptiles. I'm an enthusiast.
My name is Klick McMahon, he, him, doing a minor in cinema studies on top of the specialist for theater drama.
Cool. Thank you guys for introducing yourselves. And my name is Sophia Garcia. My pronouns are they, them, and I am entering my third year. I am not a jigging fool. Would love to be one though. You guys are cool. Okay, shall we get started with the questions? So our first question for you guys is, what have you been up to so far this summer? Are there any summer plans that you're looking forward to or that have already occurred that you'd like to tell us about, like if that was your big summer event? Just what have you guys been up to since school has been out?
Well, I'm in between two shows at the moment, both run by the same theatre company. My friend runs Thaumatrope Theatre, based out of Toronto. So we just closed Alice by Heart, the musical,
You killed it
which
in Alice by Heart.
thank you. I think it's my favorite show I've ever done. It was super fun to perform. And then starting tomorrow, I've got my first read through for Much Ado About Nothing, which we are performing in a park in Toronto in mid-July. So that'll be fun. Always great to do another Shakespeare. Other than that, went to San Francisco for a week. No other huge plans. Just theatre. Just a constant.
Real. Are you allowed to tell us who you're playing in Much Ado?
Yeah, I'm Leonardo, so I have a
Ooh,
lot of lines.
Very
real.
good.
It'll be fun.
Leonardo talks a lot.
hmm
Oh,
yeah,
I'm excited to see it.
Andrew's in it too. Andrew Easterling.
Andrew Easterling, for those of you that don't know, Andrew Easterling is a graduate of our program. He just graduated this year. 20, what year are we in? 2024. He's a 2024 TDS grad. Yeah, I'm excited to see Much Ado. We just studied Much Ado in Holger's Shakespeare history class, and it was I think it was my favorite that we went over this year. And like our year, like when we were like, because we're going into classical projects, we were like, oh, we really want to do Much Ado
Mm,
or some other shows. I'm not going to say anymore because we're not announcing that yet. But it was we all really like Much Ado, so I'm really excited that I'm going to get to go see it.
so
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Well, I just got back from Sweden. My sister got married on Saturday, and I've basically just been hanging out with my family and watching my sister being loved, which is really cute. And yeah, just overall great week. My niece Phoebe was there, and she's the cutest little baby ever. And other summer plans, I'm just working at the moment. And me and my nanny are planning to go see lots of Irish theatre.
You have an Irish show that you are most excited to see?
I started reading Dancing at Lunasa, and they're actually putting it on in the Gate Theatre. So me and my nanny, I need to call her. I'll call her tomorrow, but and set it up. But I really want to see that one.
Oh, that's exciting. We studied John Jam Singh. Um,
Yeah, me and
he
Reese did a scenes from that from the what is it, Western Playboy of the Western World.
yeah,
Yeah, we did that in Meredith's vocal class last year.
oh, Playboy is one of my favorite plays ever. That one is so good. It's funny. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I'm excited. You got to let me know how the shows are, because
I will.
yeah, cool.
I've been seeing a lot of theater so far, and the one I saw first was Huff by Cliff Cardinal, which we got to read in Anushree Roy's playwriting class. It's a phenomenal play. Like, I wish that more people were able to see it because it was amazing. Cliff Cardinal has some really cool work, very heavy but like really cool. And then the other play I got to see with some of my roommates was Insert Clown Here, with Kiana Wu. She was someone that a few of us saw at Shaw Festival and got to meet. It was so funny. Like it was like an improvisational clown show. It was just so funny and so cool, and it was so inspiring. And I want to do work like that. It was hilarious. Yeah. I haven't been in any theater really this summer. I've been doing like hobbies. Like I've been sewing stuff, like stuffed animals. I've been roller skating. Got into a roller skating accident. Survived. Yeah.
Follow-up questions for you. What is your favorite thing that you've sewn? And also, I recently went roller skating for the first time, and I think that it's my new hobby, because I think that roller skating is the most fun thing that I've ever done. Like, we went to roller pony in Etobicoke, and it was awesome. So text me for link ups to go roller skating, because that was so much fun.
I will. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we have to go. It's so exciting.
Yeah, new hobby of mine. Like, I'm like itching to buy. Like, I'm saving up for a pair of skates. Like, oh, so much fun, guys! Go roller skating. It's awesome. Like, but yeah, what's your favorite thing that you've sewn so
Oh
far?
my gosh. I've sewn like a lot of things. Oh, I have one right here. This one's from last summer. It's a chameleon. He's got wires in his hands so he can grab onto stuff, and in his tail too, so he can just like hang on stuff.
Well, that's so cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've been auditioning so far this summer. I just did a series for vertical drama. So it's this new type of format, I guess, that they're targeting audiences on their mobile devices, where it's 114-page script, so the same length as a feature film, but each episode is only a minute and a half. And it's really heightened stakes in every single episode. So when you're working and on set and you're doing the filming, you have to be up here. And it's not really realism anymore. It's more so like a melodrama, soap opera type of performance. But that was fun to do for a few weeks. I just got back from officiating one of my good friends' wedding in Peterborough. So that was a lot of fun. I never officiated before, and that was really cool. And then coming up shortly here, I'm going to be going to Vancouver and Seattle for a trip. And then when I get back, I'm going to do a job for Ubisoft, the video game company, and do some stuff for them. And then whatever comes my way for the rest of the summer.
Because in school we learn lots of techniques for like uniting and verbing and all that sort of thing. How is it different when you're working on like a piece of text that is broken up into so many short segments? Like, do you have to kind of adapt the technique to work on that? And then like when you're filming, what is your state of being like? Are you dropped in all the time? I'm interested.
It's actually a really good exercise for all of that, because you do it a lot more, I guess you could say, than you usually would for like a regular 5 to 7 minute scene, because you are trying to find the crux of every single scene that you do. And so that's the most important thing, is to just try to find that main verb, I guess you could say, that represents that action itself. But yeah, all of that, I still verb. I still try to break it down into beats, even though they're really, really quick. Like we say, they're only a minute and a half in terms of the sequences. So they happen quickly. And if there are pivots and posts and unit shifts, they're either very few or they just happen super quick, super fast.
Cool. That's cool. I've been seeing a lot of those, like they've been coming up a lot more on even my social media, just like, this is a TV show essentially, or like, this is a movie, but I'm watching it in like, this is 30 seconds at a time. And I've been thinking about that. So it's cool. Like, I've been thinking about how acting might be different for a project like that. So it's cool that you get to do it and tell us a little bit about it. Did everyone answer? I think so. Okay, cool. on to the next question. This goes back to your classical project. For those of you that are not aware, the Jigging Fools just completed Julius Caesar. Fantastic show, by the way. I got to see both casts, and I think it was really cool actually that they were both split. For those of you that didn't catch it, it was two casts with two separate directors. So each cast essentially had an entirely different production from the ground up, with different blocking, different staging, different text, like different cuts of the text. So my question for you guys is, do you have a favorite memory or part from working on the classical projects last year? For those of you that played multiple tracks, like a bunch of different characters, which character was your favorite? Do you have anything really memorable that you want to share with us about your time in the classical project?
I have one.
Take it away, Camryn.
I was in the cast B with David Matheson. So getting directed by David, just in general, was one of my favorite memories, because he's very good at what he does, but he's also like a goofball. And our cast was also comprised of a bunch of goofballs, basically. So there was obviously a lot of serious stuff. It's a tragedy, but also there was a lot of really fun moments. Like I don't know. This is something we generally did in class, like singing "Wind Beneath My Wings" at him sometimes. But also I like to do that in rehearsal a little bit. Yeah, it was just really fun. I also like to get to hold a dagger. It was a really cool dagger.
Also, do tell us what parts you guys were in the. I should have mentioned that earlier. I just thought of it. Camryn, who did you play in the show?
I played Cassius. He's like my favorite Shakespeare character ever.
Who would like to go next?
Yeah, I was in David's cast too. I played Morellus, Pindarus, and a plebeian. So multiple tracks, minor characters, but all really fun. I got to be a good part of it. And a big memory that comes to mind, it actually has to do with seeing the Evercast show, because I went to their opening night with a few people from my cast, and seeing your classmates perform is always amazing. That's one of my favorite parts of this program. But just to see what they've done with the show and comparing it, not comparing it, but just in a bad way, but seeing how different it is to yours, and how just different directions and liberties they take with costuming and lines and characters and tracks was great. That show was really memorable because the fire alarm went off halfway through, and they dealt with it very well. And it was just a great night of theatre, and it really reminded me of why I'm doing this.
I remember seeing on social media that the fire alarm went off, and I was like, oh. And then I saw pictures of Maggie as Caesar himself, and she was just laying there, and
I
then
took that.
like that's you took that?
Yeah, I took that.
Okay, that picture was one of my favorite pictures of Maggie for a bit, because it was so funny. She was just kind of laying there under the blankets, for those of you that didn't see. Spoiler alert, Caesar dies. Oopsies. But Caesar died, and then the fire alarm went off, but Caesar was still on stage. So when they brought everyone back in, Caesar still had to be dead on stage. So yeah, that was funny. I heard about that. Ciara, are you back to finish your answer?
Okay, I hope so. I'm gonna speak fast though.
You are. And also share with us, where are you zooming in from today? Because I know the rest of us are all kind of in the GTA, but where are you?
I am in Dublin, Ireland. We'll be here until August 22nd when I go back to the saga. Anyway, I was there's pictures of me doing Fight Call with my hair rollers in, and because I played Casca, I was the first to stab our Caesar, who was Vandana. And there's just a picture of me with these big rollers in my hair going like, and I think it's pretty funny.
Thank you for sharing.
So I guess
Jacob?
I'm the only one here who was part of Cast A, directed by Andrea Runge. And I was going to bring up the memory that Rhys talked about, being involved in Cast A, and having the fire alarm go off mid-performance was something that I will never forget. The only time that's ever happened to me in the theater that I can remember. Yeah. And that's definitely the most standout memory. Other than that, just the whole rehearsal process, getting to see your classmates and your friends every single day after class, and just coming together and taking a text that has existed for hundreds of years and making it your own, which we did our best to do. I think that it did follow, pretty traditional layout of how Caesar is performed. It was pretty classical, but at the same time, what makes every show unique is how each specific actor interprets their character. As for me, I played Brutus, so I like to think that my Brutus was and I know it was very different than Cast B's Brutus, but also all the other actors who played Brutus over the years.
Do you want to share what your thought process was when the fire alarm went off? Like, what did you do? How did you deal with that?
Yeah, so the fire alarm actually went off mid-speech. So Caesar had died, and they're gathering together. Everybody is kind of there. You have all the Romans who've come forth, and you have Brutus who goes to make a speech, essentially to declare why the assassination was carried out. And it was maybe the first 4 or 5 lines into the speech that I got when the fire alarm went off. And at first, I wasn't quite sure what was happening. I thought it might have been just a quick tech issue where we had a sound cue happen, and I tried to speak over the fire alarm by raising the volume of my voice, and then the lights came on and our stage manager announced that everybody had to evacuate the building. But where I was in the text, I'm trying to remember the exact lines, but it was somewhere close around the part where Brutus says, "Hear me for my cause and be silent that you may hear." And I just got the idea when we were all standing outside waiting to be let back into the theater, if we were going to go back in, and if we were, where we were going to start from. And I just had the idea to address that directly to the fire alarm because it had so rudely interrupted us right previously. So when we came back in, and it is a bit of, removal from realism because you are directing it to an inanimate object as opposed to the rest of the theater. But that's what is so cool about live theaters. You can do these kind of things, and everybody, not just the cast, but everybody in that theater is involved in the happenings and proceedings of the performance. And so I think that for that point, it was opening night, like Rhys said, and for a lot of my classmates, it was their first show since high school, or it's their first, in some cases, few of them, but in some cases the first show ever, especially in a scale like this. And I feel like a lot of people were feeling nervous, like the pressure was heaped on and nobody really knew where to go from there. So I did want to bring that sense of levity, bring that sense of togetherness and community, not just with my castmates, but also with the people involved in the theater there too. So having that opportunity to make a joke during something that really wasn't a call for a joke in Brutus's speech right after Caesar's funeral was a great moment that I believe helped my cast propel to do a great show for the rest of the night, and I'm sure the audience enjoyed it too.
Yeah, the beauty of live theater, eh? As a segue into you guys did a show. It takes a lot to prepare for a show. The whole rehearsal process, Mully Hutton, work pray carnival type idea. Love you. And I love the work play carnival model. You do all the work, you get to the pray right before you go on, that final warm up, you're in the dressing room. If you could share what you like to do when you get warmed up for a show, what is your routine?
I'll go first on this one. I do so much to prepare for a show. This mainly comes from my athletic background, being a competitive hockey player for many years, and I've just been so used to getting to the rink 2 hours before a game. But my routine usually starts before I get to the rink, and the same for when I do shows in theater as well. So I like to get to the theater super early, but my routine will start before then. My routine will start at home, usually having a big meal that will sustain me for basically half the day from when I eat it until after the show ends. Usually some carb heavy like pasta. I love having spaghetti before a show. And then I'd like to take a nap if I can. Now, being at university and having other classes, it's kind of difficult to fit that in, but I've started to kind of look around campus a little bit to see if there's little nooks that I can take here or there, or even just get to the theater super early and just bring a pillow and crash for a little bit, just so that I can reset my body ahead of the performance, because it is super, super demanding physically. And you just need to have that rest, which is really important to just remove all things that have happened from the day previous going into the show itself. And then getting to the theater, I like to do just physical warm-ups, of course, lots of roll downs, everything to release body tension. I like to use my massage gun a little bit to help me release body tension as well. Listen to some music to kind of get me into the zone, and I'll do a vocal warm up. And then finally, if there's a fight call or intimacy call, we do that and have that, like you said, little prayer or get together group, breathing, holding hands, just zeroing in on each other, every single person involved in the show, making sure that we're connected. We're going to go out there, we're going to have fun, we're going to play within the show itself. And just have a couple of final moments before just really locking in and focusing on your moment before going on stage and just that first intention, because the rest is just going to happen. You can't really dictate how it's going to happen while you're doing the show, but you can at least prepare for those first moments.
That's cool. Are you a fan? I know some people do. Are you the type of person to make a character playlist to listen to before the show? Or do you just listen to general music?
No, 100%. Character playlist, but I also do character scrapbooking too. So for every character I do, I have pretty thick books that include everything between the dialogue that I'm going to speak, but like different little clues and things that I like to do with that dialogue, but also pictures or artwork, colors, textures, all these different things that kind of remind me of that character in those circumstances, or just what I like to have. Sometimes I'll take screenshots from movies or TV shows that I can find reference points to. Sometimes I'll bring back some journal entries I had in my life. I guess I like to use some type of emotional recall within a specific moment. But yeah, definitely heavy on the playlists and on the scrapbooks.
Cool. Thank you. Who is next?
I can go next if that's chill. So this is just before like a show, right?
Just before a show, before a performance, anything really.
Cool. Before a show, something that I'm always messing around with it, because sometimes it changes. Like some days you need like to do like more vocal warm up than physical and vice versa. But like what really helped me for Caesar was going into like one of our rehearsal halls, doing a warm up for about an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes in the same room as some other people if we wanted to warm up together, because I find that warming up completely alone sometimes is like makes you feel like you're gonna go crazy. And I'm not really into that before going on stage in front of people personally. But like just doing like a physical warm up so that I'm like not hurting myself on stage. Same with vocal stuff. Getting into the character a little bit, doing a couple lines just to make sure that I like just to see where I am that day, like how high can I go, how low can I go that day, how loud, how quiet, that kind of thing. Because some days I find that my voice can go a lot louder than it can other days. And then we would go to the Mist Theater and like start getting ready. And I found that getting ready with our cast helped me a lot, like ground myself, like not as my character, but as myself. Because I find that if I'm completely lost in my character, it's a lot easier for me to lose my lines on stage. Whereas if I have like a little bit of Camryn there too, it keeps me present with my fellow actors. So it's not just like complete anxiety. Like it's like we're there together. It's like a family. And then at some point, like I think an hour before the show, I'd like to put my headphones on, like listen to a little character playlist that I made. And then just kind of like walk through the entire show. Like I would, if I had time, I would walk through all of my blocking, trying to do as many lines as I could. Sometimes I would do it with Olivia, either together, because Olivia was Brutus and I was Cassius. We had a lot of scenes together. Or sometimes Ciara too. We would do our lines together. But also I remember there was a couple times where Olivia and I were trying to remember our lines really fast. But like Olivia was like 5 lines behind me, so we were just whispering, and then like I hear like something that I just like responded to like 5 lines ago, so we're just kind of like chasing each other a little bit. It's really funny. Like yeah, like it sometimes takes a little bit working, and I still think that my like warm-up stuff like that could be a little bit better, but I don't know, I think it's something everyone's always working on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I find that even just show to show, day to day, my warm up routine will vary. Like I have the same like building blocks, but the way that I do it and the order in which I do it and the specificity of what I do will change. And there's even more variance, like from character to character.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Who is
No problem.
next?
I'll go. Thinking about the last show, the show I just closed, Alice by Heart, the musical. Like obviously that you do the vocal warm up and the physical warm up if it's as a group or not. You always got to do that. It's important. But then in the 30 minutes before the show, everyone has their own thing. Some people really need to energize and jump around and do karaoke and whatever and stuff like that. But I'm not like that. I find what some people need to energize, I need to get in my zen kind of thing, and really get myself present. So I won't go on my phone in the 30 minutes before a show, and I'll probably just sit in the corner with my cryptic crossword book or Sudoku or something in my introverted self, just there. But just because it kind of just focuses my mind on one thing, which is something that's really important as an actor. If you're gonna be immersed in the character, you just got to be focused and present, and not having my phone and not being too distracted by other people. That's something that really helps for me, just really zenning out until the show starts. And I also, one thing I do before shows start is to just think about where I came from in my acting journey, kind of what got me into theatre in the first place, and that initial kind of spark, which I had about 5 years ago. Just kind of to tell myself, wow, I'm doing this and this is good and I'm proud and I'm going to own this kind of thing. And it's always something nice to feel when you're going on stage.
I find it, I'm the kind of person that gets really like right before a show, so most of my routine is similar to yours. Like I like to do my stretches, my warm-ups, whatever, but then especially like in the moments right before I go on, that is just me and my brain, and it's very much like centering myself, grounding myself. I see you.
I definitely agree with Camryn when she said it. I think it varies like on how you're feeling that day. Like some days, I remember after I think it was like our second last show, my voice was like I could really feel the wear and tear. So I did more vocal warm-ups that day, and I'm probably better at my vocal warm-ups just because I've done them for so long. Um, and then yeah, it also depends on like what body part is hurting me the most. Um, with Caesar, like I felt like I had to like really massage my hands, especially when I would sometimes grip that dagger so hard because I was so afraid it was gonna fall. Um, but yeah, I also love character playlists. Music really just, gets me in the groove of things. Usually, um, I have to like add in a bit of like upbeat songs to kind of get myself a little bit amped up, but still I don't want to like enforce that on anyone, so I have my big headphones on. Um, and something for Caesar that me and Olivia started to do, Olivia played Brutus. We started doing little prayers before the show. And that I don't know, it just like she was teaching me ones that I didn't know, and I was teaching ones that she didn't, her teaching her ones that she didn't know. And that just like really like warmed my heart at the beginning of like before, like we do it like right before we go on stage. Um, and yeah, I just thought it was like really beautiful and new.
That's nice. And it must have been so nice to like do it with another person.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like some other times I wouldn't even like I'd say like a prayer and then I'd be like, to all my family looking down on me, like, I hope you're proud, blah blah blah, whatever. But the fact that like this time, like it was something that I shared with somebody else, it was like really lovely.
That's really nice. Okay, we're gonna move on to the rapid fire section. This is our last section of the day. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Baskin Robbins Rainbow Sherbet.
Chocolate orange.
Oreo.
Either Dairy Queen cookie dough or pistachio.
Oh, okay, real. I'm a chocolate chip cookie dough guy. Okay, second, what is your ideal summer destination?
Barcelona. I was there 2 years ago. I want to go back right now. It was so chill.
Real.
Tobermory.
Algonquin Park. I love going camping there in the summertime, and even though it's local and I go all the time, it's still my favorite thing.
It would either be County Clare in the west of Ireland or Greece.
I was gonna say Greece. Me, anywhere with a beach, but I have always wanted to go to Greece like since I was a kid. So one day I will spend a Greece. I will have a
went when
Greek
I
summer.
was- I went when I was like 3, but I don't remember it.
Real. I'm a big nerd for like classical, like ancient Greek theater and like Greek mythology. So one day I will go to Greece, and yeah, I will be torn between the ruins and the beaches, and I'm okay with that. I think that that's an okay tier to have. And my last question, connecting this back to our program, what are you looking forward to most about fourth year?
Performing, 12 shows a week. Not 12 shows a week. 12 shows in 2 weeks. 12 shows a week would be something else. But just getting my head in a new show, a new character, with a group of people, and just making something great.
Being in a show with a new schedule that will hopefully make me less burnt out. Woo!
Yeah, it's got to be the shows. This is why we do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for the shows as well, like Rhys was saying, and really like getting my hands into like a new character. And I'm also excited to see everyone again, because these 4 months of summer are long.
Thing I'm most excited for is getting to finally do a show with my Pookies, with my classmates, and also to see, like, you guys have been the group that I've been in school with the longest, and I'm so excited to see your main stage shows. Oh, I can't wait. That brings us to the end of our interview. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. Thank you for your time. Stay tuned to see these fourth years in their upcoming 2024-25 season at Theatre Erindale. And yeah, thank you guys all for coming and being here.